So Bitcoin mining is the process by which Bitcoin transactions are validated digitally on the Bitcoin network, and then they're added to the blockchain ledger. So it is done by solving a complex cryptographic hash puzzles to verify blocks of transactions that are updated on the decentralized blockchain ledger. So solving these puzzles requires powerful computing power and quite sophisticated equipment. And in return, these miners are rewarded with the Bitcoin, which is then released into circulation, hence the name Bitcoin mining. So it's a repetitive system. So as mentioned, or as we know, the blockchain is the underlying technology of Bitcoin. So blockchain is a public distributed ledger in which transactions are recorded in chronological order, and any record or transaction added to the blockchain cannot be modified or altered, meaning that the transactions are safe from hacking or any outside alterations. So a block is the smallest unit of a blockchain, and it's basically like the container that holds all the transaction details and information. And a block has technically 4 fields or primary attributes. The first one being the previous hash, which the attribute stores the value of the hash of the blockchain, of the previous blockchain, previous block, and then that's how the blocks are linked to one another, like via the hash. Then there's data, so that's the aggregated set of transactions included in this block, and the set of transactions that were mined are then validated and included in the block or not. And then there's an nonce, so that's the proof of work. So a nonce is a consensus algorithm. So this is what Bitcoin uses, and the nonce is a random value that's used to vary the output of the hash value. And every block is supposed to generate a hash value, and the nonce is the parameter that is used to generate the hash value. So the proof of work is the process of the transaction verification done in the blockchain. And then finally, a hash, which is what we explained, is in between the blockchains that holds the information from the previous blockchain and the blockchain coming. That is the value that's obtained by passing the previous hash value and the data in the nonce to the SHA-256 algorithm, or SHA-256 algorithm, and it's digitally it's a digital signature of block. So proof of stake is the consensus mechanism that helps choose which participants are actually able to handle this lucrative task. And I would say lucrative because the chosen ones are then rewarded with the new crypto, or they accurately validate the data, the new data, and they don't cheat the system. So a little bit more about what the SHA-256 is, or SHA-256, I just say SHA-256. So that's a blockchain that prevents unauthorized access by using hash functions. So that's the SHA-256, and that ensures that the blocks are kept secure and they're digitally signed. And their hash value, once it's generated, it can't be changed. So you can find that in like your documents, like on Word or anything like that. And like the only way that it would change is if you altered the blockchain itself. So same way that if you alter a Word document after you've made changes to it, then the SHA-256 will be different. So it takes an input string of any size and returns a fixed 256-bit output. And it's basically like a one-way function, and you cannot derive or reverse the input reversefully from the output. So basically a Bitcoin miner, in general, they have certain tools. So these include like a hardware GPU, so graphics processing unit, an SSD for crypto mining, or an ASIC, which is an application-specific integrated circuit, and the mining software, and a wallet, and preferably like a mining tool. So if one chooses like pool mining options instead of like solo mining. And once all these are set up, then the system's fired up and performs the mining process autonomously. So yeah. And any other human involvement comes from like the events of like the system for the network, failure, power outage, and other stuff like that.